What's going on, Internet? I am the Masked Man, and I'm here today to answer another viewer question. It's from the big homie Samuel Wilder, and it's a very simple question, but um, so simple that it's kind of difficult to answer. He asked me, "Why do you think?" Now, this is a hard question because I'm currently deconstructing what it means to actually think. So I don't know what thinking actually is yet. And I'm trying to process that so I can do it and then do it better because I live in poverty and I don't like living in poverty. And I guess you could say that everybody lives in poverty to a degree, but I don't have enough money to get the type of food I want to eat. So that's what I mean by poverty. I'm fat because I have to overeat because I don't know when, you know, the next meal is coming sort of poor. Like I'm that kind of poor. So I think about how can I have a better process of thinking and how I can resolve my situation. So if he was asking why do I think personally, why do I think? I think so that I can solve my problems and so that I can have things to do to entertain myself. I think for entertainment and I think for problem solving. That would be the core of why I use my brain. That's why I brought up a guy like Hobson and Gerard Carmichael because they are two cerebral dudes. And I'm looking for people in my city and in my state, people I can actually meet up with and have, conversations in person so I can go over like my ideas and go over what I have going on in my head and somebody who's not easily offended, somebody who's not easily pissed off, who I can go over in my mind these things with, and I can develop a very strong platform. See, right now I'm developing a platform. We live in the information age, and information is bought and sold as a commodity. And people are always, I listen to a lot of people who talk about business, who talk about starting a business, who talk about getting a business, but they never tell you what business to go into. They're never specific. And what I like to do is I like to sit around and think. I like to have ideas and I like to talk about people's ideas. I like to be a critic and I like to enjoy what people produce. And I like to talk about what I like and what I don't like. YouTube is an entire platform. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of these are social media, platforms, and they exist because they provide a service for people to express themselves. They exist solely on that basis. So, in a world where everybody is trying to talk, I want to have a career based off communicating, based off sharing my views and my opinions. But how can I share my views and my opinions if it's just me by myself in a corner, as a nameless YouTuber said, in a corner, not really interacting with people in real time? Well, I have to do my best job to think it through because I don't have any help, because I don't have anybody to work out the answers for me. I got to think about it because I don't have, it already made, because I don't have a plan for me to execute. See, a lot of people have inspiration. A lot of people, go out and do, but they don't have directions. They don't have instructions. And I want to fashion myself as some type of a teacher. I want to teach people how to do things. The only reason I'm not teaching the people who watch my videos is because I don't know a goddamn thing. I don't know nothing. I'm not the guy you come see if you have a real problem and you want it solved, because I can't solve my own problems, and I'll tell you that in a minute. I'll tell you that I'm working on it. I'll tell you that I can help you as best I can, but I'm not the man who has any answers because I live in poverty. So don't listen to me, because if I knew something, I wouldn't be living in poverty. But I got to think, because maybe I can get out of it. Maybe I can get out of the situation I'm in if I think about it. Maybe I can come up with an idea. So this is my idea. Using this as a tool of communication, using this as a way to get get with people and develop my mind, develop my stances on life, my positions on life, not as a comedian. I'm looking for material, but not as a comedian, as a teacher, because I want to apply these skills in my own life. I want to benefit from them. I want to get the girl that I want, and then I want to come back and help other people do the same, because I believe that there's a method and a way to get everything that you want, but you just have to know how to do it. And if you don't have a if people will tell you where to go, but they won't give you a roadmap because they don't have it, and because they don't really know, because their skills are so specialized to what they do, and they want to hold themselves up as an expert of all things, but they're not an expert of all things, not even most things, not even the things that they're talking about. They just like to talk, but they can't give you instructions. They can't give you many different paths to go. One thing that I always hear that I dispute, and maybe I'll make a video about it, is this do what you love thing. Do what you love. Do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, what's wrong with working? Who are all these people who hate work? And you will work. You always work. You don't get to escape it. Thinking is mental work. It's work in your mind. And if you don't want to work, in what you love doing, then how the hell are you going to work up here to make what you do better? How are you going to make it greater? How are you going to make it fantastic if you don't want to go through the process? I believe once you start thinking well, then it becomes a very pleasurable experience. Because there have been some times where I've had some thoughts and I was like, man, that was amazing. But most people are not thinking. They're fantasizing, they're wishing, they're daydreaming, they're romanticizing, but they're not actually thinking, because thinking is a mental process. It's like making a calculation. It's like a math problem, just much more sophisticated. It's a process of working things out, of going over things in your mind and coming to a conclusion and then acting it out in real life. It's scientific. It's like the scientific method. It's probably what it was based on, the process of thinking. And they made it into an art form that they call science, and the scientific method that they apply. It's amazing what you do when you can distill the process of thinking and you can make a whole thing based around it. Amazing how many things can come from it. Science and technology and electronics and all that you can come. So thinking is the most valuable thing that humankind has. And when human beings don't value thinking and don't value thought and don't value the process and don't want to go through it, it is heartbreaking. I've been thinking my whole life though, but I can't. It's just a problem I couldn't solve. My inability to talk to people, my station in life, where my self confidence went because I was living in a place that I was so unhappy in. It just made it to where I couldn't escape. I couldn't escape my situation, even though I was smart enough to figure something out. I couldn't escape it. I didn't think well enough. I didn't think good enough. I wasn't thinking hard enough. So now I know that I need other people to help me, because the reason that I held back is because I didn't want to do it alone. I didn't want to do it by myself. I didn't want to figure it all out alone and stand on a mountaintop. I'm a man of the people, even though I haven't had a lot of friends. I'm really a man of the people because I'm actually interested in people and who they are. I don't like everybody. I don't like most people. I don't want to hang out with some of you weirdos and freaks. You're freaky, and I don't want to be around you. But I'm still interested in what you have to say and what you think and why you think the way that you do. I have an interest because it may be valuable to me, or it may be entertaining to me. There may be some type of benefit in it for me. You think for your own benefit. It's selfish, and you can take that selfish motivation and you can pass it along. So I think I could keep going on, but I try to keep these videos shorter than I used to do them. That's why I think. Let me know, why do you think? What is thinking? Help me out. I'm still working on the answer. Do I need to do a part 2 to this? What do I need to talk about? Do you have any extended, questions for me? What do you think about? How far have you gotten in your process? Do you believe that thinking automatically leads to action? Do you think is thinking without action, is that daydreaming? Do you daydream, or do you fantasize? Do you engage in wishing? Let me know. That's all I have to say. Rate the video, like it, dislike it, be honest. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with the videos that I'm making. If you want to send me a question or you have a topic for me, you can email me at TheMrMaskman at gmail.com, TheMrMaskman at gmail.com. If you want to follow me on Twitter or find me on Facebook, you can do so at TheMrMaskman. That is all I have to say about this subject. So I will see you in the next video.